Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, March 3rd. I don't know if I'm getting weak or what. I did my, Friday was when I do my runs, my longer runs. They're 5 mile runs, but, I wake up at 4 a.m. It was 37 degrees, not that cold. Oh, I go shirtless, okay, no matter what. It could be raining, it could be snowing. It could be 7 degrees. A couple of weekends ago, Saturday was 7 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. I did 37. I did a run today. It was 37. I felt cold. So I don't know, getting weak or what. Anyway, the reason for, and somebody asked me, Mike, you tell us you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. What time you go to sleep? That's a good question. Sleep is important. I try to get to sleep by 8:30. All right. I try to get in bed 8:15, read a book, and fall asleep by 8:30. And I'm up at 4 a.m. Not on the weekends, by the way. On the weekends, I sleep in a little bit more till like 7:30, Saturday and Sunday. Just so you know, that's my schedule, folks. Here's the reason why I'm making this video right now. I mean, things are getting like even more Orwellian. I saw a headline today in the Wall Street Journal that says the world economy is doing good, and that's really bad news for central bankers. And I mean, this is pure, you might as well have just clipped this out of something from George Orwell, 1984, like, what's good is bad, what's bad is good. And this is the problem with the disease, and yes, I call it a disease of monetarism that we've basically been in like for the past 50 years. All right, this idea that central banks are in charge of the economy. I mean, these are banks. Central banks can control and regulate the economy. And they have very, very ineffective tools. I mean, their main tool is this regulating or setting interest rates. Okay, they have other tools, but their main tool for regulating the economy, if you want to call it that, is setting interest rates. And the perversion of this, and yes, it is a perversion, is that right now, in the headlines, the global economy is doing well, and this is a terrible thing for central bankers. I mean, I understand that one of the mandates of most central banks is to keep inflation under control, but the broader mandate is to kind of manage the economy so that it's doing well. It is doing well. I mean, if there was a central banker out there that had any balls, they would tell Biden, end these global sanctions that are still fucking up the entire global supply chain. And stop with the interest rate increases, because all you're doing there, I mean, they don't understand this. Again, I've repeated this a zillion times. This is their orthodoxy to raise interest rates. You're raising the price level. You should be happy the global economy is doing well, because you know what that means? It means more output, and more output of goods and services means that prices are going to start to moderate. They're going to start to come down. And indeed, we've seen this in a lot of situations. We've seen this happen now, but they're just making it worse. But this is the sickness. It is a sickness. It is a mental illness. It is a psychosis. I can't even, it's incomparable to anything else that I've seen. Maybe some kind of and I'm not a clinical psychologist, but maybe some kind of super elevated dementia or I don't know. It's crazy. What is that? It's very frustrating to see this. Like I've been trying to explain, like, look, we got a really great fiscal situation going on right now. Yes, we're going to get into tax drains mid-March and mid-April, and then everyone's going to freak out again. The market's going to come back down, but those are temporary. Okay, the big picture is that the government is a net spender, which means it is constantly adding to the level of the swimming pool. Then it drains it away sometimes, but then on balance, it's adding, okay? And we got used to this situation in 2020 and 2021 when the flow of that addition was so big and so unprecedented. I went through this yesterday. I mean, you really can only draw a comparison to like what we did in World War II on a percentage basis, but on a nominal level, I mean, there's nothing even came close. And I said yesterday with these interest rates and the 31 trillion in so-called debt, I mean, if they push the rates up to like 6%, you're talking about another 2 trillion annually, automatic. It doesn't require appropriations by Congress or anything else like that. On top of the nearly, 6.5, 7 trillion, you're talking 9 trillion. I mean, it's gonzo, man. It's gonzo time. But when I see things like this, and this is why I don't read the Wall Street Journal. I just think it's just a rag sheet. It's bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. There's not one single journalist at the Wall Street Journal who has one fucking clue about what they're talking about. So I just want to bring this to your attention. And, you may be going around talking to your friends or your colleagues or your family or at parties or whatever saying, oh, yeah, man, this is really bad what's going on with interest rates. But, that'll just feed into this misinformation. Rate increases are price changes, and price changes, they redistribute. It's just like I was saying with inflation. Inflation redistributes. Deflation redistributes. Everybody thinks, oh, it'd be great if we have deflation. It's not great for everybody. It's not great for farmers. I mean, I can remember, I don't know how old you guys were, but back in the 80s, like we had the farm crisis. We had so many family farms go out of business. I mean, they made movies about it. They did Farm Aid concert. The Farm Aid concert to try to help people. It was so terrible and it was so bad. So, I mean, it's just like, you got to understand it for what it is, man. And when you see things like the economy's great and this is terrible for central bankers, well then, fuck the central bankers then. Got to get rid of these people. That's it for now, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.